Well, I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter how many days in a row things go great. It only takes one bad day. It's funny how that is. It takes one good day to make you feel better, but it only takes one bad day to make you feel like crap. And we've had a great run, but it came to an end tonight. You knew it had, at some point we were going to catch a bad run, right? And I felt it the other night. Great Bet was no good. Kind of a soft day. I picked up today's program. I was exhausted this morning. I told you guys that. Looking at the program, I'm like, geez. They're all okay, but they can all get beat, and none of them are going to go away 8-5. There's going to be no cakewalks today. I went home early with Addie. I told you I crashed. Got up. I knew that I missed all the horses in Pennsylvania, yet I didn't see any updates that were videos. That sucks. I watched the first one, Green Glitter's a flat 6th. I know that, Tim said, she's scoping mucus, she might be getting sick. We all go through that point, all of us. I go through it tons of times a year, where you have expectations. And it's not that the horses don't meet them, but you have to come to the realization at some point they won't meet them, right? And I wasn't angry or upset. I was a little heartbroken, to be honest. I got a pretty good affinity for Green Glitter. I liked her. And but I always told you guys, right? I always made one comparison when she trained down. One comparison. One horse's name I always tied her to. Enzo. Same type of thing. All the tools, just didn't have the case. Didn't have the rigid exterior, didn't have the eye of the tiger, call it whatever you wanted. Talent was there, ability was there, will to use it, do it, put out 105%, not present. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's lots wrong with it. You can look at it two ways. She's going to be an effective overnight horse. Maybe she was a little sick. Maybe, we can get her squared away, and maybe she will do okay in the next Stallion Series. But the horse I saw today, quite frankly, doesn't belong in the Stallion Series final. I mean, if you look at it historically in any way. Now, I didn't look at the other divisions. I saw her division. She was soundly 6th. There was no, if this went this way or that way. No. Short of a meteor shower, she was going to be 6th. It's just the way it is. It's upsetting and disappointing and heartbreaking. And you guys know, I'm sure everybody out there either has this year or in the past, and likely will in the future, experience that same feeling where maybe that horse just isn't as good as we hoped. Anyway, Green Glitter was a little bit flat, finished 6th. Patrick DePron, I talked to Chris briefly tonight. He said, listen, the horse raced great. 15 apiece off half and 56. He said, I think get away 8th from the 8 hole. What are you going to do? I said, no, you're 100% right. Everything he said is correct. Everything. And then Hunter raced Lonely Lakewood. Hunter was saying, he just wasn't quite as good as the day he finished second. I said, well, to be fair, to play devil's advocate, he was down a class. He got away 6th. There was 2 or 3 or 4 buoys in front of you, one run off, and you looped a bunch of tired horses to be second. You were in a position, you used them off the gate today. You were in a position to attack, in an aggressive position. He came up flat. We scoped him after. There was no blood. There was nothing like that. He had a little ulcer on his palate, but that's been there plenty of times before. He just wasn't great. That's the way it is. But the good news is, before we had sent this horse over to the Meadows, I trained him in 58 at Northfield. I was surprised how well he got over Northfield, and that is good because he doesn't need to be up a class any longer. We can put him in the condition claimer that we just somewhat cleaned out, right? Militant went up a class. I think Victory might be in there right now, but he's a better horse than Victory. So there's a spot for him. Yes, honey? Your eyes are dry. I don't know what to say about that. Could it be that you've been watching that screen for 2 hours, you think? Anyway, so all 3 at the Meadows, or all 3 in Pennsylvania, I should say, because Green Glitter was in Philadelphia. All 3 of those horses, a little flat in different ways. Now, we went to Ohio. I picked up the card. When I went up to warm up, I don't play nice. I can't for the life of me understand why, but the track is as hard as a rock. And I mean hard as a rock. Now, the first one didn't bother me. I don't play nice warmed up good on it. I could see the track, but he didn't mind it. I'm like, some horses do. They like a harder track. So I'm like, oh, cool. But I know the little fellow with the white face coming behind him 40 minutes later, he's definitely going to mind that hard track. So I'd ask him, are they going to cut the track? And cut the track. They didn't. And I don't play nice when it race great. Now, Aaron makes a break in the first turn, and Brett's already on the run. I'm thinking to myself, I'm a winner. But don't give it away. Don't give it away. This horse has trained poorly on the front before. Just this first lifetime start, just do right by the horse. Treat it like a maiden. Stay where you're at. I know Rosie's long odds. She'll likely take you to the head of the lane. The only two horses fast enough to beat up on anybody in this race have already made breaks. Just stay here. Start down the backstretch. Chris Lems comes first over. He's got her headed, but all she has to do is take me out of the lane. And unfortunately, she came up about 5 pylons too short. When I got into the inside, when I got down to the passing lane, I was completely flat-footed. And I'm asking this horse to sprint. Not really a sprinter. Nice colt, but not a sprinter. I'm asking him to sprint from the head, not even from the head of the lane, from the passing lane to the wire. And he did it, best he could. Just come up a little bit short. Raced great. I thought he raced very, very well. I was super impressed with his mile overall. If I put him back in the front, does he win? Maybe. If I move him at some point, maybe. I don't regret it. It's his first lifetime start. I still drove him the way that I felt he needed to be driven. Now, the next guy, though, little problem there. And I knew we were going to have a problem. Cadeau, when I warmed up Cadeau, he was okay. I'd asked him, are they going to dig this track up? You know, Cadeau's got those little chippy feet. He was great in Scioto, soft track. Great at the Meadows, soft track. I'm starting to worry now. He'll trot, like you can hold him together usually, but it's bothering him. So I score him down, he's not too bad. We go out of the gate, I end up getting the lead by default, and he was pretty sketchy around the first turn. He felt like he was on roller skates a little bit. But I got him around the first turn. I said, oh, don't worry, you know, as we go through the mile, he'll thaw out a little bit. He's not awesome, but he's good enough to win. The only one that can beat me on paper is behind me. He's struggling too, I can tell. His struggles are in the straightaways, mine are in the turns. We get through the second turn, I get halfway through it, and I almost lose him. I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm in trouble here. I let him trot down the stretch because I don't want anybody to be on my wheel and pushing me in the turn. I want to be able to throttle him through the turn, throttle him back through the turn, and ease him through. And I was a little surprised. More times than not, you'll hear me say, I knew it. I knew 10 strides before he was going to make a break, he was going to make one, and I couldn't do anything about it. Not tonight. I really thought I could get him through that third turn. I was in a good spot with him, and I just lost him. He rolled off stride. I don't have to look for excuses. I know exactly what was wrong with him. His feet were a little bit sore, and the track's hard as a rock, and that is all that happened to him tonight. I look at where he excelled, both tracks that were deep the day he went there. 3 times, because the Meadows was a qualifier and the race. And then he went here tonight, and he just did not feel comfortable. And I don't know why. And it's not that this is a hard track. The track was too hard tonight. You go back and look at all the results of all the races. Anytime you have 2-year-old trotters, you're going to have breaks. But there just seemed to be an inordinate amount of breaks tonight. In one race, I think half the field run. Then you say, wow, they're 2-year-olds. Cadeau's raced 3 times now. Now, I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that this was his first race on a half-mile track. But this horse trained down on this track. I don't think it was the track. I know it was the track. I don't think it was the facility tonight. Somebody else must have complained they started conditioning the track. Well, the night's over for us now. We got Bluebird Tuxedo Hill, who was worse than I thought he'd be tonight, quite frankly. We have Bluebird Tuxedo Hill. He's a great guy who we sold. And LT Troubadour. Truthfully speaking, the only one that's got a shot left in the card is LT Troubadour, and that's a mini shot. I warm him up. He is rude tonight. ignorant. I don't know what was bothering him tonight, but something was. It wasn't lameness. He was wild tonight. I got him away from the gate. I got him following horses. He was okay. One run in front of me, which left a 4-length gap in front of the stands. He caught up. He didn't even track 2 steps through the turn. He rolled off. He's a big colt, but he's a bit of a softie, truth be told. He could have got it done tonight, and by get it done, I mean, listen, he's a Grape Guy. He's beat half a length or 4th. He's a way better horse than he's a Grape Guy. He probably would have been a close 4th, or who knows, closer, had he just been behaved tonight. He was just a disaster, just a complete yard sale from pillar to post tonight. George of the Jungle finished 3rd, but raced good. He's got to be a better horse than that. He looked like he was a long shot getting up for 3rd, and instead he was one of the favorites. That horse has to be a better horse than that. That's a 5/8 mile track. George of the Jungle's got to do better than that. And I'm not mad at George of the Jungle. I'm not saying it's his fault. I think he can do better than that. Now, Dominic had to go home. He had a death in the family. And he hasn't been around for the last couple of days. And I know that everybody's buckled down and done their work and done a great job. But I do think there's a bit more. I don't think we've got to the heart of George of the Jungle just yet. And I want to figure out what's going on. Because the horse that I raced tonight, that horse looked like a longer shot than 9 to 5. And it looked like certainly not the horse that trotted 56 and a piece his first start. I just think maybe he's in a little bit of a funk. Every time somebody drives him now, they baby him off the gate. You can't continue to get away 8 lengths off the lead and win a race. He's in a maiden. Get the horse to the front and get him close. And if you can't, figure out why. And I think there's where I'm at with George of the Jungle. When you continue to let horses fall off the gate and fall off the gate and fall off the gate and get away back, they're not in the right frame of mind. I want them raced, and that's what I want to see from George of the Jungle moving forward. Bluebird Tuxedo Hill, I like the horse, but he's terrible right now. You can't go out and trot. I told you guys he was only ready to go in 2-4, which is great. He was only ready to go in 2-2 tonight. Only he trotted in 2-3 and a piece. Might have been 2-4. And it wasn't a good mile either. Seems like he's struggling. The one thing about Bluebird, he always had speed. It just was sickness, and you just couldn't put together a consistent training program with him. But it never dawned on me that once we started getting him in shape and training him and racing him and getting him tightened up, that he wouldn't come around and be a 58, 59 trotter. He felt like a shell of that sort of horse tonight. And this is the time of year. Listen, we did not rate. These are, unfortunately, when we train these colts down, I thought they had potential. But they all have ceilings. I think Cadeau is going to be one of the best Buckeye horses in Ohio. I truly like him. I think he's a great colt. And I'm not going to blame him tonight. I'd like to blame the track. I'm not going to pile on. There's enough people complaining about the Northfield surface right now. I don't need to do it. I'm not going to piss and moan about it. Everybody had to race on it. It's done. But I can assure you that's why Cadeau made a break tonight. I think there's a better horse inside LT Troubadour. He's just going to have to be tougher. And much like Arrowhead Hanover, if he wants to call my bluff, we'll spend the next month making sure he's very, very tight if that's what he wants to do. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a big, growthy colt on a half-mile track. Not his forte. He struggled really bad at the fair. And tonight, although I don't believe there was enough reason to make a break, he was out of sorts. Was his feet sore? Was something bothering him? I don't know. But that was an angry animal tonight. I don't play nice. Brought his A game. I just put him in a spot to race him conservatively. I don't regret it. There's no apologies. I thought he raced good, and I was happy with the outcome. Would have liked to win, because he could have won. But I was happy with his first lifetime start, finishing 3rd in the Buckeye, trotting in 2.5. I was happy with that. I don't play nice. He's a great guy. That's why we sold him. He's not a great horse. He's just okay. All in all, kind of crappy day, to be honest. Kind of crappy day. I wanted to do the video before Widespread Panic. I thought I could break the jinx before we got to his post time, which is coming up in about 20 minutes. I hope I listen, I'm telling you right now, When it rains, it pours. You guys know that, and I told you how merciless this game is. So I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful. On my way to optimistic, and excited to see what's going to happen with this horse. But after the day we've had, I almost don't want to watch. So good luck to my partners. That's it. That's the only hope of the day is widespread panic in Indiana. Going to post in about 20 minutes. Tomorrow, hopefully, it was only a one-off. Hopefully this was a one-off. Just one slice of humble pie so far this summer. That would be great, because tomorrow, Sirius Dragon, Atrant, Rosetta, ready for landing. Even Purple People Eaters picked for second, and Kenobi. We got some good horses racing tomorrow. Now, I'd love to win them all. We can't. We got Atrant and Rosetta in together. I just want to see good miles from everybody tomorrow. And then Friday, as I said to Ava, not a lot going on Friday. I'm going down to Kentucky, to Lexington, to help Eric get everybody squared away, get the sails out on the ship as we head into Lexington season. They'll be racing 9 days after Friday, so a decent training mile. I don't think anybody needs any stiff training miles. I just want to see what's going on, how they get over the surface, see if I can get to the bottom of Westland Warrior and Grand Slam Deal. But aside from that, everybody seems pretty good. And then on Saturday, we drew the rail with Time Is On My Side in the Adios elimination. That should be a lot of fun. A lot of fun stuff coming up on Saturday. But Saturday night, we have Victory Blue Chip, Prince Charmer, Militant. Saturday evening also, we have no free lunch. But for right now, I'm home. I'm home. Not going to sulk. We all knew that they couldn't race good forever. And hopefully, as I said, today was just a one-off. I'm going to sleep on what my true thoughts on Bluebird Tuxedo Hill and his future right now are. I don't think a horse like him, here's the thing, a horse like him, it's not like we need to just dispose of him. It's a well-bred colt with a nice gait that had a sketchy training session throughout the middle part of the spring. If anything, I'm more apt to say, all right, we'll try him a couple more times, then turn him out, bring him back, let him fill out, grow up, and bring him back. Same with LT Troubadour. I just think I'd like to see this horse at Scioto. I can't wait to see what he'll do at Scioto. I don't think there was any need for what he did tonight, but horses are horses. Cadeau, Scioto is next start. I would bet very good money on him. I think his feet were killing him tonight, and he had to race on. It's all right. And he had to race on pavement. I don't play nice, race great. So I guess those were the standouts. Pretty slim pickings for today. Patrick DePrana raced good to finish like 5th. Cadeau made a break. Addie, turn that down, sweetheart. Cadeau made a break, but we'll be fine this next start. We'll continue to work on him. Maybe 2. Next time we come to the track and race 4 and the track's hard, take a walk over to the maintenance shed and say, hey guys, we got a bunch of 2-year-olds in tonight. Can we dig that track up a little bit? So I can't be the guy that just pisses and moans from the sidelines. I could have went over after I don't play nice, or after I warmed them up and said, hey guys, any way we can dig that track up? It's kind of hard, but I didn't do that. So it's on me too. And then LT Troubadour, I think, on a bigger track will be fine also. So as I said, good luck to my partners with widespread panic coming up. Oh my God. Come on, Panic. Just bail us out. You'd have to win 3 times tonight to fix today, but there's always tomorrow. So tomorrow, Sirius Dragon, Atrant, Rosetta, ready for landing, Purple People Eater, and Kenobi. I will talk to you all very soon. Take care.